Hello, my beloved 6th grade students. How have you been? I hope you're doing great, although you still stay at home most of the time. And welcome back to my video again. Yeah? Alright, so in the previous opportunity, I've given you a chance to watch several videos about when to use was and were. So was and were, they are always followed by nouns, adjectives or adverbs of time or place. So if you want to use the subjects such as he, she, it or I, you have to use was. For the subjects they, we and you have to use were, and then plus adjectives, nouns, adverbs of time or place. Yeah, that's for positive sentence. For negative sentence, you just add not after was, so it would be like was plus not and it becomes wasn't, were plus not and it becomes weren't. If you want to make yes or no questions using was and were, you just put the was and were in front. Okay, so for example, was she at home? Yes, she was, or no, she wasn't. Were they happy? Yes, they were, or no, they weren't. Okay, so for today, I'd like to explain a little bit about simple past tense, and later I'll also review about how to use was and were again. Okay, let's check it out together. The simple past tense. This is what we are going to discuss today. So this is the story. Yeah, the characteristics. The teacher, yeah. Hello guys, do you know about simple past tense? Yes sir, I know it. Can I answer? Sure son, you can answer. So what are the characteristics of simple past tense? Alright sir, the first one, it expresses the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. Or simple past tense is used to tell or explain events, activities, or things that happened in the past. Alright, you're correct. What is the other characteristic? Alright sir, it also uses adverbs of time in the past. Can you give me some examples? Yes sir, I'll give you some examples later. And the other thing, simple past tense also uses verb to or past verbs. And what is the other characteristic? The other one is the formula. And what is the formula? I don't know sir, I'm sorry. Well, thank you very much my son. I'll explain about the formula later. Okay sir, you're welcome. Okay, yeah. So those are the characteristics of simple past tense. For these characteristics, I'll explain about them later. Yeah. Now we go to the first one, the adverb of time that we usually use when talking using simple past tense. Yeah, we usually use yesterday, last month, and then last year, last week, ago. Yeah, for example, a month ago, 2 weeks ago, a day ago. And then, yeah, we can also use time time. Yeah, for example, a year, which refers to the past year, in 1980 or in 1945, yeah, in 1960, like that. And then now for examples, yeah, I'm going to give you some examples. Yeah, I saw Maria yesterday. So what is the adverb of time here? Yes, correct. This is the adverb of time, the past adverb of time, yesterday. And then the other example, last Friday the students took their spelling and vocabulary tests. So what is the adverb, the past adverb of time here? Yes, last Friday. Okay, good job. They got married 2 years ago. What is the adverb of time, the past adverb of time? Yeah, correct. 2 years ago. Yeah, because these actions are over or finished, so that's why we have to use simple past tense, because these events, they have happened in the past. And when talking about past events or past activities, we have to change the verb. So we usually use past tense verbs or verb to, like saw, took, and then got. Next. So before I go further, I'd like to tell you about, there are two kinds of past tense verbs. Yeah, first one is called regular verbs. Examples. Yeah, so what are regular verbs? So regular verbs are verbs that we use for past tense, and we only add ed at the end of the verb. Yeah, so simply said, yeah, regular verbs are verbs that end with ed. Yeah, these are the verb 1, or the present verb, or the base verb. Yeah, and these are the verbs. Yeah, the verbs to study, it becomes studied. Walk, walked. Work, worked. Play, played. Cry, cried. Live, lived. Like, liked. So they are called regular verbs, and they are so easy to remember, because regular verbs, yeah, the characteristic is that you only add ed at the end of the word. Study, studied. Now, so what's going on with study? Because it ends with y. So for this one, yeah, for the words, for the verbs that end with y, like this one, for example, study. So you have to kill the y and then add ied. Okay. Now, so if the verbs end with consonant like d and then y, or cry r and then y, they are consonants, so you have to kill the y and then add ied at the end of the verb. Cry, cried, like that. Now there's another type of past tense verb, which is called irregular verbs. So what are irregular verbs? So if you remember that irregular verbs, they're so easy to remember because you just add ed. Yeah, mostly ed at the end of the verb. But these irregular verbs are quite different, because the first form will change to another form. So irregular verbs are verbs that don't end with ed because they have to change or they change their forms. Like for example, teach, it becomes taught. Yeah, this is taught. That's how you read it. Write, wrote. This is still quite easy to remember because I changes to O. So write, wrote. Catch, caught. Sing, sang. Have, had. Go, went. Think, thought. So, you want it or not, for these irregular verbs you have to memorize it by yourself, yeah? They're not like regular verbs that you only add ed at the end of the verb. These verbs are quite different because they change their forms, okay? So you have to remember. Yeah, remember the verb to, yeah? Okay? And then the next one. Irregular verbs that stay the same. There are still some irregular verbs, but they don't change, yeah? So they just stay the same. So for example, put, that is the verb 1, and the verb 2 is still the same. Put, yeah? Hit. Oh, sorry. Hit, it should be hit, yeah? Sorry, I forgot to change that. And set, it is the same. The verb 2 is set. So put, the verb 1, the verb 2 is put. Hit, the verb 1, and the verb 2 is hit. Set, the verb 1 and the verb 2 is set. Sorry, I forgot to change this one. My bad. Now for example, the children sat the table every Sunday. Not every Sunday, maybe last Sunday. Yeah, the children sat at the table last Sunday. I forgot to change this one too. It should be last Sunday. Yeah, okay. Alright, the next one. So what about the formula? Yeah, so as a scientist needs to know a formula to solve many problems. So when using simple past tense in our conversation, in our writing, yeah, we have to know the formula as well. Formula, yeah, sorry. So what is the formula? So the first, the positive sentence, this is the formula. So subject and then past verb or verb 2. And then you may add object or adverb of place or time. Yeah, I'll give you an example first. When I was a child, I blank the piano. So this is the verb, yeah, it's still the base verb or verb 1. So what is the verb 2? Because it's when I was a child, so it happened in the past, yeah. This sentence happened in the past, so we use past tense. So what is the verb 2, or the past tense verb of play? And then the second one, Donna blank a criminal in Paris, and the verb 1 is catch. So what are the verbs 2? First one, yeah, played. What about the second one? You still remember? Yeah, caught. Oh, there is a back sound here. I want to play it. Oh yeah. Can you hear it? The piano back sound. I like it. Okay, good. Alright, we'll continue the next part, yeah. Now we go to negative sentence. So I've explained about the positive sentence. Now I'll explain the negative sentence, and this is the formula. So subject plus didn't or didn't plus base verb or verb 1, and then you may add object or adverb of place or time. Yeah, remember, because it is a negative sentence, so you have to use didn't, which means did not. Okay, that is the opposite of positive sentence. And remember again, after didn't, you have to use verb 1 or the base verb. Like for example, she didn't work, not she didn't worked. No, that is wrong. Yeah, so didn't plus verb 1. Verb 1 is the base form, yeah, the first form of the verb. Okay, I give you an example. Last week I didn't blank you a letter, and this is the verb 1 or the base verb. Second example, the students didn't blank an English exam, and the base or the verb 1 is have. So what are the answers? Last week I didn't send you a letter. The students didn't have an English exam.